Well, thanks for, again, joining us. And for this very segment, we're discussing the Great Consolidated People's Party. But more importantly, and we would want to know, get into the minds of the founders of the party and also the managers currently, what the intent and objective of the party is going forward as they prepare themselves for 2016. We have also the chairman of the party, who was once the flag bearer of the party, also in the studio, Dr. Henry Herbert Latte is here with me. Thanks for joining me, sir.
Thank you.
All right. And what do you say, popular party? Great Consolidated Popular.
Great Consolidated Popular Party.
Right, GCPP.
Not people, yes, not
Domestication Party.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That ideology still holds.
It's very, very important for the whole of Ghana and the whole of Africa.
Why?
It will not change. Because you have to produce, you have to earn the money, export, and then you can help your country. If you don't produce, you don't export, you're finished.
How about value addition?
You add value addition. Yeah.
So
when you say export, it includes value addition and everything.
Product.
Absolutely. Not just a raw product, but adding value like you said. Absolutely. It's very important. And we have to emphasize on that, because if we don't do that, we'll never get anywhere. We have to help our exporters, give them all the training, all the money to be able to have certification. It's called, if you want to sell to Europe, it's called Global Gap. So you have to get them to have their certification to be able to sell into the European market. If they want to do organic, they have to have organic certification. If they want to help small farmers, you need fair trade. So you have to give them all those certifications to be able to export. And once you do that, then your economy will be strong. And then you can do a lot more for your people.
If you look at a current political dispensation, for you, an experienced person like you have been, what is the most worrisome observations you've made?
For now, right now we have a problem within the political sphere where people are throwing acid at people just because they are in politics. That's my most worrying.
That's just one instance.
Yeah, that's one. That's very, very worrying, because it shouldn't happen. Why should somebody kill you just because you have an idea to help Ghanaians? It's totally wrong. The second point is our economy is not moving as much as we want it to move. Although the government is doing a lot about it, Ghanaians are impatient. We have to be patient. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. If you watch people who have been successful, they failed several times before they made it. And Ghanaians wanted quick solutions. It doesn't happen that way. We should give our president, like this government, the chance to make it happen. If they don't make it happen, or it's not good enough, and people have ideas that can make it happen, they'll be voted into power. You don't need to knock them to improve Ghana. You can help Ghana. When you help Ghana to get somewhere, then you also build on top of it. You don't knock them that they're not good. You tell them the country is so corrupt that even businessmen don't want to come and do business here, because you told them that the whole Ghana is corrupt. Is that the way to build Ghana?
You think we're building too much bad publicity for our own country?
Absolutely, totally wrong. It's not, if you say Ghana is so corrupt and you come into power, do you think they will change outside that think that you are not corrupt?
So, Dr. Latte, what do you propose we do? We go around praising government, praise-singing?
We work the system. We have institutional failures. Let's work the institutional failures together, and let's solve this problem, and then we'll all benefit from it. But you don't go point your fingers at negatives. The Europeans do not do it. Americans do not do it. They show you the American dream. If you go to America, America is not perfect as we see in the film.
You've lived in America.
I've lived in the UK, and I've traveled to America several times on exhibitions, on organic exhibitions. We've seen the American system work. There are certain areas that I don't think is fantastic, but they push the American dream. They give you what is good about the country. So everybody wants to go and say it. Then when you get there, you're like, oh, America, yeah. It's not as perfect as they tell you. But you have to look at the good side of things and push it. We should not just look at our negatives and push it to the whole world. And that is what worries me.
From what you're saying, it seems the media has been playing a key role in all this, perhaps propounding negative news.
I will not blame the media. It's the politicians who are doing it. If the politicians don't come and say negative things, the media will not report it. If they talk about good things, the media will report the good things. But we seem to, Ghana, like the PhD syndrome, pull him down syndrome. That is my main worry. If you're successful, people want to pull you down. In America, if you're successful, people look up to you. If you're driving a Mercedes, I also want to drive a Mercedes. They come and talk to you. How did you do it? And then you can mentor them and help them to also drive a Mercedes. Here, or drive Mercedes. They're angry. Instead of being warm to you, they get negative. Negative is not too bad in our country. We should stop that and be more positive, proactive. Let's all believe that we can buy Mercedes. Let's believe we can all buy houses. Let's believe we can all produce and do things. And then we can move the country forward.
Since 1992, we've prided ourselves of having implemented a certain political dispensation that has been par excellence, very much unmatched in Africa. I mean, really, the numbers say. But would you say that there have been flaws for which if we had identified by now, we would have projected ourselves way from where we are currently?
I wouldn't say that.
Because we have issues of freedom of speech,
Absolutely.
which we're very much commended for.
Right.
We've had until recently a thriving economy. We've had institutions that were working at least substantially. Of course, need a lot more improvement, and we have a growing population, which getting some level of education, access to healthcare, etc.
The Ghana economy, since 1992, has some ups and downs. Politically and democratically, we've been par excellence. There's no doubt about it. Even we have more democracy in Ghana than in the UK. Trust me. We say things that the English cannot, even an ordinary English person would be scared to say. We are so free that we've forgotten the rules about freedom. Freedom doesn't mean you can say anything or just pour acid on people. You should not be able to do that, and that is totally wrong. But when it comes to democracy, about jaw, we are bloody good at it. Excuse my French. We are so good at it that we've put it to the different level where it's gone to the point of insults. Should we allow that to go on? It shouldn't. If we can talk, and we can discuss, and we can listen to each other's opinion, I think we'll do much better and take it in. Because sometimes somebody will criticize you, but it's the best advice for you. You might not like it to begin with, but when you sit down, pause, and think about it, you will take one good idea out of it, and that can make a remarkable difference. It's so important to listen. If you don't listen, you don't get anywhere. If you're telling people every time, do this, do that, and if your workers, even if you're like in a working environment, if you think you know it all, I'm sorry, you got it wrong. Because your workers have skills and ideas and brains and minds that can help. And if you don't listen to them, you fail, and fail miserably. So talking and listening is very important. It's important to listen. If you have a relationship and you don't listen to your partner, do you think you're going to have a good relationship? No, you never. So criticism is not too bad, but concrete criticism, good ones, are what we know, not
And you
negative.
think that we don't have positive criticism in our country?
We get to a point, and you know on the media, the insults.
I don't know. What makes you conclude that?
Well, you know the insults. Don't you know? Don't we all cry about
Yes,
insults?
I acknowledge.
Why did we go to the Kumasi Declaration? Because of the insults that the Asantehene, the Peace Council, they're all worried about it. They think that, they thought that 2008, 2012 elections, we were going to, if they didn't come in, we're going to end up fighting amongst each other. You understand? Because of what we were saying, and the velocity of the passion of putting views across to the point of hate. So we shouldn't get to that level. That is not good. I don't think I'm not a preacher, but I believe that if you say things good enough, people will absorb it and take it. You don't have to shout down to have insult. Just convince. And once you convince people, I think they'll do what you want.
At what point would you say that the political parties, who are key stakeholders in the current political dispensation we have lived up to the billing?
They've all lived to the billing. It's just that a few skirmishes here and there, and the few people who come and create a problem. No, there are firebrands in every political party, and you have to be able to contain that. And if somebody makes a mistake, you have to hold him back, sanction the person from misbehaving, and that is the way. But it looks as though they are not being able to contain those firebrands, and as a result, it explodes. And because of that, look at what has happened at Bolga.
Why do you think the supporters and grassroots members or sympathizers of the political parties, and according to the observation you've made, are behaving the way they are doing, becoming very much more of hooligans, so to speak?
Absolutely, which is sad. It looks as though some people over the years, those who are loud mouths, get positions when they win power. They could be, the louder they are, and when you look, when the parties win
Well, that's
power.
not true necessarily. It doesn't mean if
Look,
you
I don't want to mention names, but you can see those who have been prominent are people who've made noise when they are in opposition and have been very loud. As soon as they win power, they are rewarded for that sort of a situation. So others think if they also do that, then they'll be noticed and then they'll do well, which is rather sad.
So you're saying that those gentlemen or whoever you're talking about, the personalities within the political parties, are said to be, well, good because they're eloquent.
Because not eloquent, loud.
They're loud.
It's got nothing to do with eloquent.
Eloquent means you speak sense?
Eloquent means you're able to speak in language that is respectable and fluent. But these people are eloquent as well, but loud. They are on the news all the time, criticizing for the sake of criticizing, and they are known everywhere. So when they come to power, they get their positions, and people see it happening.
Within the period of all these conflagrations, within the period of all this, so to speak, loud noise that is made,
Yes.
do you think these tend to inflame passions or tend to build up certain sentiments, especially that goes down to the grassroots level? As a result of that, there's a certain...
If you're loud, everybody hears you.
Inadequate interpretation of whatever they say, not intended by the original senders of the message, so to speak.
Well, they only have one reason: to be heard. Whether it's good news or bad news, they want to be heard. So they'll create a situation where you hear them all the time. So once people hear that, they get known, because they are known and they are noticed, they get the good jobs and things. So people think that's the way to do it. In the process, I'm not saying that if you're loud it's bad, but sometimes it gets to a situation where, like, we've seen people come into power and then fail. They give them the jobs and they can't do it. Is that what we want? If you're not loud and you don't make yourself known, it's not good. But just getting yourself known for the sake of getting known with a view to get a job, I think is a totally wrong way.
Do you think that the rest of the political parties have got key human resource that could have also contributed significantly to the current dispensation we have, which ultimately, of course, has got influence on how well the economy does or not? But because they belong to other political parties, are made not to contribute to their quota to national development?
Yes, Ghana is full of human resources. We have a lot. Look, growing up, most of my friends were very successful outside. I don't have one friend who has not been successful. All of us were very successful. Me, at 24, I was driving a BMW in the UK. By 27, I qualified as one of the best underwriters in the world. I qualified the $1 million table when I was only 27. By 29, I was a manager of a large insurance company. And so were other people as well. So we made it out there. And we have Ghanaians who are working in NASA, who are helping with the
construction of space
and everything.
aeronautic engineering, things like that.
We have Dr. Alote, one of the best mathematicians in the world. We have the resource, we have it. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't address it. Just because we have a win-win situation, you could have people who are good, but you don't give them the job. It doesn't matter which political party is in power, they do not give people who can help. There are so many Ghanaians who can turn the country around, but they sit and have wine. I was one of those. We used to go and sit down and have wine and talk about how the country is not doing well. But what have you done about it? That was one of the reasons why I decided to go into politics.
And contribute.
Absolutely.
But the point is that since 1992, we've seen a certain trend where it's always been the NDC and MPP. And that excludes small parties like yours.
Our party is not a small party, don't say that.
Right. That excludes parties like yours.
Yes.
As a result of that, well, good brains like you, successful people like you, and others who tend to hold to the membership of such political groupings are not likely to contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of our country.
Yes, you can't blame, it happened over the number of years. The military coups didn't help. Over a period of time, because of military coups, people shunned politics. They were scared of politics.
Well, true, but we still have political party members who belong to other parties other than the NPP and NDC,
yes,
who are very much qualified, have the
yes,
expertise,
absolutely,
but are not made to contribute to national development. They've never held political positions. They don't supervise ministries. They've not been appointed as ministers just because they don't belong to any other two parties. I'm even speaking. A good example is you.
Look, when a political party wins an election, let's be realistic, they will choose their own people because they've canvassed, they've worked hard for them to win. And that is what it is.
Well, true, but going by the numbers, if your political party doesn't get to win, and looking at the numbers, you may not get to win.
You can advise.
You just advise?
You can advise. It's not just. Advice is very good. You can advise. You can put things in the public media. People can discuss the social society. You can put things across. We do right on a regular basis. I'm not criticizing the government because our energy is not good. I come with solutions. Look, we have to use solar big time, go into solar big time, and we can change the economy. The government is listening, and if they do that, we'll be all smiling. We have to. I'm not keen to have a position in government. I have an idea. The only way to have position is when I win and I know what I can do. I will not go and join a government that may not even, how can I put it, not believe in their philosophy. But if you join them, and don't forget that there's politics. If some people don't like you and they put you in a job, they'll make you fail. So you could be good, but you go to a position and you fail there. So I will not take a job and go and fail.
Between the MPP and NDC, which of them do you believe in their ideology?
You know, we're a pluralist party. We believe in social democracy. And also...
That's your party?
Yes.
The GCPP?
Yes. And I believe in, more, how can I put it, property-owning democracy as well. Because you have to help business to develop. And if you help business develop, they can create jobs. And when they create jobs, your economy will improve. At the same time, you should not think that you're going to just help business people so that the revenue will trickle down. It doesn't. So you make sure that you take care of those who are not being properly taken care of. You earn enough to take care of the poor and build hospitals so that when the poor are ill, they could be taken care of. You build schools that over a period of time they earn enough money to be able to pay for their school fees, and build schools where you can have free tuition, and all these sort of things, but you have to earn the money before you can do that.
A good idea. And I love all that you've espoused.
Yeah.
But is it difficult looking after a political party, financing a political party, trying to canvass resources for a political party, trying to canvass human capital for a political party?
Yes, it's tough, but once you put your mind to something and you believe in it, it's achievable.
How are you doing yours?
Oh, doing really, really well, exceptionally well. Because I run my business like a business. I run my company like a business. You have to. Don't run it like a business, you'll fail. Look at the costs. Who are you going to get money from? Who are those who are going to help you? And some more money each time to be able to fund the party, because you have so many expenses. A lot of expenses. When you go to Congress, you have to pay for the room, you have to pay for food, you have to pay for transportation, all these sort of things. So you have to create the money to be able to do that. And it's not easy, but I have a lot of business friends, a lot of business.
And they are willing to help you because they believe that you're a good man.
Absolutely. Especially now.
We have great potential to help the country.
At the beginning, they smiled and laughed at me, you know. So, oh, Henry, you can't go into politics. Oh, Henry, why? Just like they were saying to my father. And I used to say the same thing to my father, but something has changed. Look, this thing happened to me about 1990. I remember when I first came back from the UK, I was exporting charcoal, barbecue charcoal. We packed in 3, 5, and 10 kilo bags. And I think when the Movement for Freedom and Justice told the government to hand over to multi-party system, somebody said, his son is the guy who's exporting the charcoal. I don't know.
You were exporting charcoal?
I was the largest exporter of charcoal in the whole of West Africa to the UK. So they put a ban on the charcoal. I had 9 containers in the port and they banned it. I remember I went to the UK and I was walking in the park and I was thinking, I was worrying about my charcoal producers. I was not worrying about my business that I had lost. That was when the calling came that, look, you are here to do something.
You're here to make change. To
do something. I'm here to make something, do something for the ordinary person. And I was worrying about my ordinary charcoal producers.
So that's what your party is doing. Since 2012, what has your party been doing?
Can I explain? So that is a calling. I couldn't understand it until the old man died. And I started working out and I realized, oh, so even when I was not in politics, You know, we happen to be the largest exporters. See, we started with charcoal, and then coffee, and then vegetables, and then organic papaya. And we happen to be the largest exporters of organic papaya in the whole world.
Currently?
Absolutely. Well, right now, I've cooled it down because you're talking about adding value. I have an office in Germany because I was invited by the state of Bremen to set up my office there because we're going to exhibitions every year. And we're supplying all the top supermarkets in Europe. You understand? So, when I remember some of the farmers that I started with, and we put them on the Latin farmers list. They had just wooden shacks. And within a few years, they built their own 5-bedroom house, their own pickup trucks, and they're living well.
In Germany?
Here, in Ghana. Germany was a marketing office. I was marketing, looking at the supermarkets and looking at the wholesale market and making sure that I could get into the market as and when
So
I
you
wanted.
did that and made a lot of money. You pumped all into your party.
Of course, I
You helped your daddy.
Now
Now you also were contributing significantly to your party.
Absolutely.
How has your party been doing since 2012?
Oh, you saw we went fourth in the elections. We did very well. No one gave us a chance. We were on the ground. And even now, it's even going to be much, much better.
What are you going to do?
Oh, we're working. What am I going to, my friend? We are working as I talk to you. As I walk, people approach me. We talk. I hold meetings. And I'm working all the time. And I'm enjoying every bit of it. Tell them the philosophy of the domestication or how we want to give Ghanaians help through Ghana economic empowerment for them to be successful to run their own businesses so that we will move forward. Farmers, women, laborers, carpenters, masons, small businesses, and even big businesses, how we can make Ghanaians become very solid by putting the revenue behind them to be able to move the economy forward.
The GCPP, how do you currently, within the current socio-economic order of the world, who convince any of the two parties that domestication is still important and can still be incorporated into any economic paradigm currently?
Domestication, as you're aware, is still the best policy in Ghana and in the whole of Africa. And if you could, our own good president, John Dramani Mahama, has started Buy Made in Ghana goods, which is excellent. That's what it's all about. So he's picked some of it, but it's not the whole thing. The whole package. When my father was talking about domestication, I was actually practicing it. So nobody can practice domestication better than me. I actually got farmers and made them successful, very wealthy. Go to Sawam, go and look for Amachi, go and look for Antiros, go and look for Boating. They're all there. And they are people who are supplying blue skies with their produce.
You're not saying domestication is only about agriculture, is it?
Oh, no, everything you produce. Not just agriculture. Production. If you produce, we should help you to produce. It could be ICT. Let's help you. Use your brains. It could be solar panels. Let's help you to build a solar panel.
It could be a service, if you say.
It could be a service. Let's enhance you. Let's give you capacity building so you can be better on yourself. It's about people, helping people to be successful. People management. Not just resources of gold. You're a human resource. And you're valuable. So we should make sure that you become better than you are.
From what you're saying for all that we've practiced the last decade and a half, or even say the last 2 decades and a half, we've not been true to ourselves and really identified innermostly what we need to do as Ghanaians and also help in developing our population. Is that it?
We could do better. Not that we're not doing anything at all. We could do much, much better.
With the resources we have.
With the resources we have. Look,
okay.
If you, most Ghanaians do not have assets to go and borrow money. There should be another way. You think out of the window.
Now, what do you propose?
Oh, you can give, look, my farmers, they didn't have any assets, nothing, no collateral. I gave them the money, they did not run with the money. They became successful. Even I did not take the money back, it was a bonus because we made so much money. Look, we were supplying Tesco in the UK, Waitrose in the UK, Sainsbury's in the UK. In Germany, we're doing Plus, Teagut. In Holland, we're doing Ahold. In Italy, in Sweden, we're doing ACA. In US, we're doing Home Foods. In Canada, we're doing Pro Organic. All these guys produced it because we give them capacity. We just don't give them the money. You monitor them, you audit them, and if they're going wrong, you help them. They're good farmers, very, very good farmers. You have to have time to nurture them, and they become perfect. We happen to be the largest exporters of organic papaya. We've won so many awards, so many.
Why do you think that the two political parties have not warmed up to all the idea about doing what we feel should be done for ourselves, by ourselves?
I don't know. I want the Ghanaian people to give us a chance, and we're going to do it. I don't know. We have the chance to do it. And 2016, if they give us a chance, they'll see a transformation.
How do you intend doing that? How do you intend convincing the ordinary Ghanaian or the ordinary voter?
Just like I'm talking to you, we're doing it already. We're going to the homes, door to door. We're talking to them. Every time, I talked to yesterday, I was about talking to people. When I leave here, I'm going out talking to people. And it's going around like wildfire. We're selling it hard, letting people understand that we want to help them, and they should tell us their problems. We understand, when we understand the problems, we can turn it around to be positive. And they're happy. And we're going to cause a big surprise this time around. You watch our votes. Watch our votes. Because the people have started buying into domestication in a big way.
How do you intend increasing the numbers that voted for you from the last election?
Oh, we're doing it. We're going door to door. Literally going door to door, not just talking about it. And listening, talking to them, listening, knowing where their problems are, and letting them know that when they vote us into power, we'll give them what they want.
If you've been getting feedback from them, what have they been saying?
They say, yes, we love domestication. Yes, it's a shame your father died and we could not vote him in to become president. And I say, look, I don't want to be president for the sake of being president.
For real? They say that to you?
They say that to me. They say that to my people as well. I say, look, don't vote me because I want to be president. You want to vote me in so that I can change your lives and make your life much better. Not the cars, not the traveling over the world. It's putting the system straight. I have so much experience that I've gathered growing up in Europe. Because I was advising business people, top business people, on capital conversion, tax saving ideas, all these sort of things. I've seen businesses go up and fail. So I know how to talk to businesses. I've met top politicians. And I have the skills to make a remarkable difference for Ghanaians.
You still run your business?
I'm still running my business.
How many businesses do you run?
I have about 5 different companies. One in Sierra Leone, one in Nigeria, 2 in the UK, and 1 in Germany.
You're rich?
I won't say I'm rich. I'm comfortable.
Where do you live in Accra?
I live on the beach.
Right. What do you make of current development of having now condos and townhouses and things like that?
Wonderful. We should have more. Look.
Means the economy is developing, is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is what we should be telling the world. If you go to West Hill Malls, is it not fantastic?
Fantastic.
And when I win power, we'll make the whole Ghana like that. You see, Ghana will be like West Hill Mall. We've done it. It's not that it hasn't been done, and you can see it there. We can transform all our system, and Ghana will be the paradise that it's supposed to be.
One day you hope that your children will tell you, well, they went through a tube in Accra?
Of course.
Using a tube?
Not only tube. You see the the fast trains. We should be able to put them, we should do it.
The mono trains? The fast trains, the speed trains?
The speed trains, yes, we should put it. Not only that, there's this...
that will connect countries?
Absolutely.
Like we have it in the UK?
We can do all these sort of things. We should do that.
How many kids do you have?
I have only 1 daughter.
Okay, where's she?
She's in the UK.
She buys into your idea? I'm not sure she's going to come to Ghana, though.
That's a long story.
All right. Thank you very much. And we've been having as our guest this morning the chairman of the Great Consolidated Popular Party, the GCPP. And they believe in the whole ideology of domesticating our economy, making sure that we have homegrown policies that will be driven by the Ghanaian, that would also ensure that there are immense benefit to the Ghanaian, and ultimately the future generation will be the most beneficiary of this whole policy. We hope that, well, we buy into all this, but Dr. Henry Herbert Lartey has been my guest this morning, and thanks for joining me. So I hope to have you again sometime.
Thank you very much.
Actually, in a month, I hope to have you. I'll convince my producers to bring you back.
You're always welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll be having our guests for AM Talk, and they already... I'm citing all of them. I can cite Mr. Okliti Tailabi, as well as the next guests as well. So we'll be having lengthy discussions on AM Talk. Do stay on.